Hey there, friends. May the 4th be with you. I thought since it's May 4th and a lot of you love Star Wars, let's do a Star Wars project, right? And so this could totally be done on paper. Doesn't have to be done on canvas. Doesn't even have to be done with paint. It could be done with oil pastels, with crayons, with markers. Anybody and everybody can have fun with this project. So I am working on a canvas, but like I said, you can work on whatever you want. Get your comfy clothes on. Go grab you a yummy snack and drink. And if you are painting with me, you need your acrylic paints if you're on canvas, or any other kind of paint if you're on paper. And you need your water cup, you need your brushes, your napkins, cover your surface because we don't want to stain something we don't mean to. And I am going to start with Sharpie, but you may want to start with a pencil. That way if we mess up, we can erase. Why don't you tell Alexa or your phone to play some Star Wars themed music and just really get into the vibe of things, right? So I thought we would do everybody's favorite, and that would be Yoda. And well, maybe not everybody's favorite, but and Yoda is just going to be kind of creeping into our picture, okay? So if you're ready, I'm ready. Remember, at any time you can pause me if you need to, and you are your own special artist. Yours is not going to look like mine. In fact, mine probably isn't even going to look exactly like it's supposed to. So anyway, we're going to get started. I am using a permanent marker so that way you can see what I'm doing. If you're using pencil, which I highly recommend, make sure that you sketch very softly. So we are going to put, I'm going to move this out of the way a little bit. We are going to put Yoda's head about right here. And Yoda's head kind of has a little bump on top, right? So it's like a frowny face curve. And then we're going to bring it down and around, and then bring it down and around, okay? And then we're going to do some more of the curve of the face and a little bit right here, okay? So yeah, you guys can see that. Okay, perfect. Take a deep breath. No stressing about this. This is just for fun. Now, Yoda has some rather large ears that are going to go right off of my canvas, and that is totally cool. I love when art kind of goes off the canvas. So this looks like a triangle, curve, almost horizontal, little curve, horizontal, little flip over here, do another little triangle right here, okay? Now we're going to do Yoda's hands. So we've got a little curve, 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 and do some little kind of like claws, so they almost look like upside down triangles. And then we'll do the same thing over here. Okay, there we go. Okay, we want to try to make them about the same size, so it's a curve, scoop down, curve, scoop down, curve. And then of course we need some more little claw fingernail looking things, right? Okay, and then we are going to put Yoda's eyes about right here on the head. So we're going to do frowny face curve and frowny face curve. And then we'll do, let's bring this side down just a little bit more than the other side. And then we'll do a curve and a curve, okay? So here's what we have so far. Pause me if you need to. Awesome. Okay. Now Yoda, well, I'll do some like highlights going on here, but I'll probably wind up painting over those and adding them later, okay? Now Yoda has a lot of thoughts going on, right? So we got some wrinkles going on over here. There we go. So it's like frowny face, vertical, curve, curve. And then we got to give Yoda a little nose. So it's kind of the same outline as his little hands, but not quite the same, right? Okay, and then the mouth is obviously cut out. So this is just a quick little sketch of what we've got going on, right? Now I'm gonna pull my paints out. Okay, put my Sharpie over there to the side. I may or may not want to get it out later. I am going to scrape out the rest of my white. I use a lot of white when I paint, guys. A lot of white. That's okay though. Okay, and I'm going to want to use some turquoise in this painting. And I think I might even want some blue in this painting. And I definitely want some purple for my outer space. And gonna need some black for sure, right? Now to clean our brush, guys, because I want to get a couple more colors out, but I don't want to get it out with this dirty of a brush. So to clean our brush, it goes all the way to the bottom of the cup. And I tell my boys at school, just to annoy them, we smush and swirl on the bottom, just like a ballerina. No tap dancing. You will splash somebody or something or yourself that you don't mean to. Wipe, 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 wipe on the inside of the cup. And then super duper important, you have to dry your brush every time you wash it. If you don't, you will make a mess. Okay. So my two brushes that I'm going to use most of the time are a medium flat and a medium pointy. You may even want a little baby brush as well, okay? Now, if you had a sponge at home, you could even bust out the sponge to kind of give you a cool little effect, but you don't have to, okay? So I want this to look like outer space, and I want Yoda to be almost transparent. Oh, I almost forgot. I needed some yellow, right? Okay, let's get me some yellow on here. I almost want Yoda to be transparent. I want him to have a little different vibe going on, okay? So, but we know that Yoda is green. So if you want your Yoda to be green, you do you, right? You, like I said at the beginning, are your own special artist, and your painting definitely does not have to look like mine. Okay, so I'm going to switch to this big guy. And I'm going to get some, oh, I forgot. I already put teal on here, didn't I? I am going to get some teal, and I am going to kind of sweep in some teal in spots, just like this. And remember, I said I want Yoda to be transparent. Now, I do want him to kind of take on at least a little bit of a green feel, so I'm going to grab some yellow. And when I mix turquoise and yellow, I get a greenish color, right? Kind of like Yoda. Okay, and I am just swirling my brush just like that. Little turquoise, little yellow, and get this guy all filled in. Now I know you're thinking, what in the world, right? You just have to trust my process. We're just gonna have fun with this guy, okay? I do like to paint my edges, so if you can bring color over to the sides, that's great. And then don't forget at the end to flip Yoda on his head, and you can do the bottom, okay? There we go. I'm gonna get just a little bit more turquoise and kind of blend that in so he's not quite so neon, right? Okay, now I'm gonna grab a little bit of white, kind of swirl that in. Now if I add too much white, I'm gonna lose all these black lines I made. And I guess I should have already said this. After you do pencil, because remember I suggested you do pencil first, you may wanna go back and retrace those pencil lines with a nice thick black line, preferably permanent ink. So that way we don't lose those lines as we paint over them, okay? Just a thought. Okay, swirl, swirl, swirl. Now I'm going to go back up in here, swirl some more in there. I'm going to grab some blue. Let's get some blue swirled in. Okay, there we go. Let's get some, there we go. Let's get some purple, swirl some of that in. There we go. Oop, get some more purple. Now, if it bothers you to have all these colors in your brush at once, then of course you can clean your brush between colors, but really blue, turquoise, and purple all kind of go together. So I don't think it's necessarily necessary to clean your brush each time, but up to you, okay? This is your painting. I just think it helps it to sort of blend a little better if we don't clean our brush. Okay, so now we have sort of this green effect down here, right, where Yoda is, but then we have all these awesome blues and turquoises all up here in our outer space. But really, outer space would be much darker than this. So with just a teeny amount of black, just a little bit at a time. I've got all of this in my brush. That's a lot. I'm going to grab just the tiniest amount of black, and I am going to start kind of on the corner. I am barely touching my brush to my canvas. And if you don't want to make these curve lines, you could just dab, 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 dab. That looks cool too. Dab, dab, dab. And kind of move this black around. That's why I was saying if you had a sponge, that could be a cool effect. To use your sponge and just dab, dab, dab. So this is just kind of a fun process type painting. Doesn't need to be perfect or exact. Okay. This is a process. Like I said, we're doing layers at a time. So we did turquoise, then we added some yellow to kind of give it a green feel. Then we added some blue in there, and after we did our blue, we added some purple. All right. Yay! Okay, super cool effect, right? Now, yeah, okay. Now I am gonna wipe a lot of this out of my brush because I got a lot in there. Holy moly. Okay, and I'm gonna go back and I am going to get just a little bit of black, a little bit of yellow, a little bit of blue, so I can make sort of a dark green and just kind of go over Yoda. Just, although I'm sort of losing my lines, I can't see my black lines anymore. Okay. Okay. And if you liked Yoda the way he was, you could leave him. You don't have to do this step. It's just an idea, so that way he kind of still matches what's going on in the background, right? Okay. And I don't have hardly any paint on my brush at all. I'm just dab, dab, dabbing what I have, dab, dab, dab what I have. Because, there we go, because I don't want it to be a drastic look. So this is just a little bit at a time, okay? Okay, now I'm gonna grab a little bit of white and a little bit of turquoise, white and turquoise, white and turquoise, dab, dab, dab. And I'm going to put me a little sweep, like we've got sweep kind of going through outer space here. Okay. Same thing, maybe we've got one kind of coming over here behind Yoda. Maybe we've got one up here in the corner, kind of sweeping around. So dab, 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 dab. Ooh, if you don't have a sponge and your brush isn't doing what you want it to, I guess you could always wrap your napkin around your finger and kind of almost like your finger painting, but not quite. That's cool. Okay. Add in a little bit more brightness in there. There we go. Oop. And a little bit more brightness in there. Okay, and then I'm gonna grab a little bit more straight turquoise. So this is straight turquoise. So I'm putting on almost like another layer, guys. That's what's so fun about painting, is it can kind of just evolve as you go, and there's no wrong way. Say I really love, you know, purple and I want to pull in more purple. Great. Or if I really love, I mean, you could even pull in pink, I guess, if you want to, right? This is your painting. And there's girls that like Yoda and girls that like pink, so we might just want some pink in there. Might even pull in some straight blue now. Okay. There we go. There we go. Okay. Oh my gosh, that's cool. Okay, so it's kind of just got this fun vibe going on, right? All right, so I'm gonna let this guy hang out in the water. I feel like I'm about done with him. And I am going to get into my black. Now I want my black to really glide, so I'm gonna get a little bit of water and just sort of rub that in my black pile. If I put too much in there though, it will just go everywhere. So I don't want too much water in there. It was just a little bit. And now I am going to go over my Sharpie lines, if you can see them. Now, if your painting is not dry enough to do this, you could always go blow dry it, right? Pause me, go blow dry, and then come back and join me again. Because if your colors are too wet, then they will not, it'll just blend a whole lot, okay? So that's just telling you. Okay. Curve, curve, curve. And if you don't like your medium pointy brush for this project, you could, or for this part, you could always get your baby pointy brush out, right? Okay. There we go. And then we've got this foot over here. And we've got both of our eyes. There we go. Get those all filled in. Okay. Awesome. There. Okay. So remember, over here was part of the ear, and then we have part of the little claw. Clean this out. Now I'm going to get into my plain white, and I'm going to put a few little white highlights in there just to kind of create some contrast so that it will really pop against such a dark background we got going on. Just like that. Okay, and then his little claws. Remember we had those little triangles. If you need your baby brush, don't hesitate to use that. You want to do what you're going to be most successful at. Okay, and if you don't have a real soft touch, then using a smaller brush is going to help you be more successful. There we go. And do just a little. Okay, and then how about, I'll teach you a little trick. You flip your brush upside down, dip it in your white paint, go straight down, straight up, and that puts our little shine in Yoda's eye. If we want our shine bigger, we make a circle with the brush handle so that it makes a bigger circle, and then we can do another little dot, whoop, dot, right underneath, just like that. And we can do the same thing in our sky. We can add some little twinkle stars, right? Now I will say, if you have too much white paint on your brush, or you dip or dot, whatever you want to call these, too fast, what will happen is they'll either look like little Hershey Kisses or they will drip on you. They'll drip on the canvas. So they'll make like a line. So you got to be thoughtful about how you do your little stars, okay? But I do think it's kind of cool to use the brush handle. So I'm putting all these little twinkle stars up there. And I am going to get my baby brush out and get some white paint on my brush. Now my background is still very wet. So what's going to happen is these are going to kind of blend, but I'm going to make little spirals around some of my dots. The baby brush does not hold much paint, so you'll probably have to dip each time. And these spirals are very broken, but that's okay. I think it looks cool like that. Now you don't have to do all the stars with these little spirals. Just kind of pick and choose where you want them to go. There we go. I think maybe we might need one right in here, maybe. Okay. Now, if you want to, you could grab a little bit of yellow, and I could put a little bit of yellow, and I have to be careful, but on some of these dots, I could dab just a little bit of yellow on there. Now, if I dab too much, I'm going to wind up making green because my background has a lot of blues to it, and we know that blue and yellow makes green, right? Okay. So I'm just sort of dabbing the yellow on top of those little white dots, just so some of them look almost like little twinkle stars, okay? So fun, friends. Oh my gosh, so much fun. I love him. So super loose, kind of almost a little bit abstract, not perfect. Of course, you can make your sky a lot more interesting than what I did. It's just sort of a fun galaxy feel. And a neat activity to do on May 4th, right? So I really enjoyed doing this Yoda project with you. Please give me thumbs up, subscribe, like, all that great stuff. Share, please share, share, share. And I would love to see your finished Yoda. Leave me a comment with some pictures or tag Artsy Rose if you post on social media. You guys have a great day, and may the force always be with you.